photo of William Byrd standing in front of his Presbyterian church in 1902 after preaching one of his sermons. And there's a collection of letters from James McFarland, written during his service in the Civil War. I grew up listening to my grandmother's tales. I grew up learning that I come from a long line of Presbyterians who valued their faith and marched off to war. In 1983, I start 6th grade. I am small and slightly overweight. I'm not fat, but my mother buys my jeans in the Husky section at the Hess's department store in Allentown. I am slow. At Nichman Middle School, we take the presidential physical fitness test. My father tells me it was President Eisenhower's idea. Eisenhower was unimpressed by the fitness level of World War II draftees, so he decided it would be a good idea to make 6th graders do pull-ups. I can't do pull-ups. I just hang on the bar with my face to the wall. My fellow students sit behind me on the gym floor and laugh. There's also a shuttle run and some sort of stretching exercise. I fail to impress on those events as well. At Nichman, we have special activity days. Students are allowed to choose an activity that interests them. I choose a class about statistics and board games. Mostly we just play Risk. A popular girl from the majorette squad is in the class too. We start to become friends. A few weeks later, during homeroom, Principal Kartsotis announces my name over the school's intercom. He recites other names too. They belong to the kids who don't play sports and who buy their jeans in the Husky section. Principal Kartsotis tells us that we will be removed from our special activities classes and enrolled in a fitness program. The gym teacher, Mr. Lindenmuth, makes us run laps and hang from the pull-up bar. At home, I remember being told that I shouldn't feel embarrassed. At Nichman, I remember meeting the majorette in the hallway a few days later and lying to her about why I couldn't play Risk anymore. I remember spending much of that year being sent to the guidance counselor's office for crying during school. I spend my weeks at Nichman Middle School looking forward to Sunday mornings at First Presbyterian Church. The chimes of a large bell and the towering white steeple greet us as we arrive. I like the sound my dress shoes make on the slate floor in the narthex. Ushers in crisp, dark suits with white shirts escort us down the aisle and hand me a program. I am 12 years old, but they call me Sir, or Young Man, or, on occasion, Mr. Fair. They offer a firm handshake. My family lets me sit in the aisle seat where I have a better view of the choir and the pulpit. If an adult sits down in front of me, they always turn around to ask whether I can see. The pastor at First Presbyterian is handsome and popular. He shakes my father's hand and points at my tie. Attaboy. He played quarterback on his college football team, and he often talks about the Pittsburgh Steelers during his sermons. There are no theatrics during the sermon. His voice is strong, but there is no yelling. He stands nearly still in the pulpit, removing his glasses to emphasize certain points. The sermons are almost always about love and the need to reach out to those in pain. I watch as the adults in the sanctuary sit nearly still. Occasionally they nod their heads or write something down on the back of the bulletin, but they are completely silent. It is the one time during the week when I feel safe. In 1986, I make the transition to Liberty High School. In 9th grade, we study world cultures. There is a week about Vietnam. Mr. Gentry, a history teacher at the school, comes to class and talks about his service in the Army. One day, he goes drinking in Saigon. As they stumble outside, a young boy shoves his hand in Mr. Gentry's pocket. He thinks the boy is trying to rob him, so he grabs the hand and yanks it out. The boy has a grenade in his hand. Mr. Gentry's friends attempt to get control of the grenade, but the boy won't let go. They overwhelm the boy and pin him to the ground. Someone kills the boy. They don't want to pry the dead fingers loose, so they saw off the arm and toss it into the air. It detonates and sprays the men with shrapnel. Mr. Gentry shows us the scars. He says, "I think about that boy a lot." There are 2,500 students at Liberty. The school consists of 3 main buildings, the oldest of which was built in 1918. It has marble staircases and large, dark hallways. A labyrinth of overpasses and concrete walkways connects the 3 main buildings. Between classes, students congregate on these overpasses and walkways, creating choke points where larger students threaten smaller students. One day, in 9th grade, I accidentally step on the heel of a larger student. The student says something threatening. I try to walk away, but he approaches from behind and strikes me on the back of the head with an oversized textbook. The blow leaves me nauseated. The crowd makes room. Larger students cheer, while smaller ones look on in silence. At home, I cry. My father is a history teacher at Liberty. He offers to intervene. I don't know how to survive high school, but I know